back to Doodles and Drawings. We're back after a short break and we're ready to do some more awesome character drawing. Today we're going to be doing a personal favorite of mine and someone I bet you might enjoy from TV, Spongebob. So let's get started with our sketch. We got our pencil ready and we're going to get going. For Spongebob, he is a rectangle, and he's three-dimensional. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of set up our Spongebob. And first things first, we're gonna start by outlining his body. So Spongebob, like I said, is a rectangle, and he's a sponge, so he's a little like loosey-goosey. So we're gonna kind of do a little bit of a wavy line here at the top. And then, because he's three-dimensional, he's going to kind of come back like that. That's going to be the other top of his head. He's going to come down a little bit. And then there's going to be this other line that's like right here that's going to come down a little bit. And then on the other end, he's going to come down as well. And that's going to be kind of like the outline of our rectangle. We're going to connect him right here. And then he also has a line that kind of goes back like that. And we're going to erase a little bit here, because that's where his arm's going to be. So we're going to do a little half circle here, because that's where his arm's going to be. And so that's this kind of the start. This is our outline of Spongebob so far. Next, we're going to draw his namesake Squarepants. So he's going to go down like that. We're going to have a line kind of like this. A nice square line like that. And then another line that goes like that. It comes down. Those are his pants. He also has a shirt as well. So the shirt is going to kind of go like that. Like that. So there's his shirt line. We're gonna, using this as our arm, we're gonna make his arm. So we're gonna have his hand. He's got a thumb, which is pretty cool. He's got fingers that kind of come out like this. It's a little chunky hand. It's not usually as chunky as this, but that's okay. His hands are very stick-like, so very small hands. On the other side, we're gonna have him raising his hand, because he's often talking with his hands. So we're going to do this, make a space for his arm, come up a little bit, and curve around like that. That's where his arm's going to be. That's where his arm's going to be coming out of his sleeve. And we've got his nice little thin arm coming up. And he's talking, so he's going to have maybe his thumb curled in a little bit, like that. And from the top of his thumb, maybe we'll have his pointer finger coming out, because he's making a valid point in his talk with Squidward or Spongebob or with Sandy or Patrick. And he's got his other fingers like that. And there's his hand. Right, SpongeBob's only got 4 fingers, so he's a little funky that way, but there's his pointer finger. We might have it change a little bit. We might have it bend a little bit more, as pointer fingers do. Go like that. There we go. He's making his point. Okay. We've got to do his legs. So down here, we're going to draw kind of like a trapezoid. Kind of looks like a rocket booster almost. And another one over here. Those are where his legs come out. His legs are also very skinny. And you can't really see where I'm going here, so I'm going to just adjust the camera so you can see. Got his legs coming down. They're very thin, like that. And then his shoes are kind of like an old-fashioned heel. So I kind of do like a little curve here, the heel part, and then it kind of pops out, and he does like a loop, and then comes together. So there's his shoe. We can do another one on the other side. So come down here, make his leg. And then we'll do another one of his shoes. So we got There we go in the loop and together. All right, we've got shoes there. SpongeBob always wears his socks, so we'll put some socks in there. And we've got a few more now details we want to work into our picture of SpongeBob. SpongeBob, of course, has his spongy holes. His tie, his shirt has some details. His pants has some details. Got to put his eyes in there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with his eyes. So we're going to go about 2/3 up. And we're going to draw 2 circles. And the left eye overlaps a little bit, so we're going to have them overlap here like that. So those are his eyes. He's got pupils, which we'll draw in like that, right there. And then he's going to have an iris in the middle, that black part in the center of your eyes. He has 3 eyelashes, which we can draw in like this. They're just rectangles. There we go. Now for his nose, he's got a long, it kind of looks like a pickle or something. So what you're going to do is you're going to go a little bit down from this eye, and it's going to kind of come up and obscure the eye a little bit. And this is where our eraser is going to come in handy. We're going to erase the part that was obscured by his nose. So there we go. His nose is there now. His mouth is going to come out from underneath the nose. So you're going to start by making a line down. And then he kind of comes across like this. And then he's always smiling. So he's got these little dimples there. And then you're going to come down because he's got a really big mouth. He's got a lot to say. And it's going to come up like that. And that's going to be his mouth. Now, SpongeBob also has really thick teeth. Really thick chompers in the front. So we're going to draw those in real quick. The end of his mouth is going to kind of come into these. So there's his two teeth. And he's also got a tongue, which we'll draw like that. There's his tongue. And then finally up here, he's got like a little bit of like that dimple we've got to finish off. So what we'll do, we'll go a little bit over from our circle here, and it kind of goes up over his eye a little bit. So we'll be erasing a little bit more eye here. He's got a couple dots there. So now we're really starting to look like SpongeBob. And then for our sponge holes, we can just draw circle-like. They can be a little squiggly. They don't have to be perfectly circular. Some of them are a little bit more rectangular. He's got a few down here. He's got a bunch on this side. There we go. SpongeBob holes. There we go. Some of them are bigger than others. And then finally, let's do some details on his clothing. So for his shirt, he wears a collared shirt. So we're going to draw the collar in here. And those are just 2 triangles. He's always wearing his trusty tie. So we're going to make sort of a trapezoid looking thing here. And then from there, his tie comes out. It looks like a diamond. So we're going to make a diamond that comes out like that. We're going to erase the line from his pants. There we go. So he's got his tie there. And then on his pants, he is wearing a belt, which are these black rectangles he has. So we're just going to outline those real quick. You put a few on each side of the tie. There we go. And there we go. We've got a SpongeBob Squarepants all outlined and ready to go. Now we're going to get our marker out, our Sharpie or black marker, depending on what you feel most comfortable with. And we're going to start doing some lining. So I'm going to follow the lines as best as we can, just like we normally do. It's not going to be perfect. That's okay, right? Your art is your art. And you know, honestly, a lot of times we're our worst critics. So we think our art is worse than it really is. And that's okay. You've got to think critically about what you do. And so if it's not perfect in your eyes, it might look perfect in somebody else's eyes. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. So there we go. Got our SpongeBob coming along here. Get his arm little chunky down here. That's all right. And we're just going to start covering up all of our pencil lines. There we go. We're going to do all of our little lines here. Do our best. If some of them overlap, it happens. All right, we're not perfect. We're human. We make mistakes. Art isn't about being perfect. It's about expressing yourself. So it's okay if it's not perfect, like I was saying. There we go. We've got another hand to do here. We've got, I'm going to cut this one off a little bit earlier than I had on my sketch. That's all right. There's SpongeBob holding up his hand. I'll go down to his pants here real quick. Get that shoe drawn in. There we go. Got his shoes. Now we just got to do the inside of his body here. We've got some holes he's got to have. Okay, his eyelashes, his eye, big circle that his nose cuts off. He's got his big nasally nose. Nice big eyes. Very expressive. There we go, and then we'll do his mouth, which is kind of rectangular. Nice big teeth. And there's his tongue. So now we've got an outlined SpongeBob, and now it probably looks a little bit more like the SpongeBob you're used to seeing, which is awesome. And now we just got to get our colors in there. So for colors, SpongeBob is mainly yellow. I've got 2 yellows in my colored pencil set. I'm going to be using the darker yellow for the holes. So they look a little bit darker. So let's get started with his skin. We're going to come over here to his arm. Start coloring him in. Nice and yellow. There we go. There's our SpongeBob. Nice and yellow. Looking good. Yellow is always kind of hard to make bright and vibrant when you're using a traditional medium like colored pencil. So if it doesn't look like it's super bright, that's okay. As I'm coloring it, it looks a lot darker on my camera than it does like from my eyes. So that's partially an illusion. It's there. It just doesn't feel like it's there. Okay, we're gonna color. Make sure we're being careful around the details. We don't want to make SpongeBob look jaundice, which is where your eyes turn yellow. Because he's not having liver problems. I'm pretty sure sponges don't have livers. Okay, he's got inner part of the face here is yellow as well, his nose. Okay, we got his arm here. Let's see, did I miss anything? A little bit over here, a little bit over here. That looks a little bare. Maybe a little bit more up there. There we go, looking good. And then of course that little bit of leg that's showing is also yellow, so we'll put some yellow down there. All right, now I'm gonna grab my darker yellow, and that's gonna be for our spongy holes. So we're gonna do that, and it just looks a little bit darker because it's still yellow on the inside, right? It's just not as bright because it's inside the sponge. So we'll make it a little bit darker. There we go. Okay, realizing I missed a color that I need. That one right there will do. Maybe? Hold on. There's another color. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, next we're going to go with our pinks. I'm losing my pencils. And so I've got a lighter pink and a darker pink. The lighter pink is going to be for his tongue. Which has got a little bit more light on it because it's coming out of his mouth. And then the darker pink is going to be for the inside. Right, show that it's a different thing. So show a little bit of difference there. So there you go, there's the inside of his mouth. We've got red we're going to be using on his tie, and then also his socks have stripes. So we're going to put one stripe of red on his socks. And we're also going to be coloring in his tie, which is this part right here. Nice and red. There we go. That looks really good. I've got this light blue here. Light blue for his eyes. So the part around the iris here is going to become light blue. Because SpongeBob's got these nice blue eyes. There we go. I've got a brown here. Brown is going to be for his pants. Make sure his pants are the right color. His pant legs as well are brown. And we're going to color in around the belt because the belt's going to be black. Oh, I forgot to use a blue. Hold on, we do have some more blue we got to use. The other stripe on SpongeBob's socks is blue, so we're going to draw a blue stripe in there too. Make sure his socks are the same, are the colors that they usually are. There we go. All right, there's SpongeBob pants, and then we just got to do a little bit more. Oh, I forgot his pant leg. Ah! Silly me. Let's get his pant leg colored in. There we go. All right, so now we've just got black left. Black is going to be used on the inside of his eyes, his iris. We're going to color those eyelashes black. There we go. And we're going to come down to his belt and his shoes. So we're going to color his belt in black here. Oh, Gary. Let's cook some Krabby Patties, Squidward. There we go. We've got a SpongeBob all nice and done. He looks fantastic, folks. And I'm sure yours does too. Thank you so much for watching Doodles and Drawings and continuing to support this show. We'll be back next time with another cool character to draw, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again. Bye.